All right, today we're going to talk about probability from Venn diagrams. Okay, so in these examples that we did today, they're asking you to determine the probability that a child at random has blue eyes. Okay, and E represents having blue eyes. So basically, what we do is we look at all these here, and the number of dots tells us how many blue eyes there are, and there is 8 dots here, which is why we've written 8 here. And if we counted all the dots, there are 25 dots. Okay, and the number of people who don't have blue eyes is going to be this number here, which is 15. Now notice they've used special notation, which we're going to be using this semester. They've written E with a little prime symbol. So if E represents having the blue eyes, E with the little prime means not having the blue eyes. And we're going to see that throughout this unit. Okay, let's look at the next problem. Okay, so event B shows a sheep having black wool. So how many dots represent having black wool? 3. Okay. How many dots total? There are 17 dots total. And that has to be the denominator. And if you add having black wool and not having black wool together, 3 over 17 plus 14 over 17 is going to give me 1, or 17 over 17, which is equal to 1, or simply 100%. Because you're either going to have black wool or not have black wool and nothing else. Okay, not having the black wool is 14 because there's 14 there. All right, let's move on. Hit pause and replay if you need extra explanation, or talk to me at a study hall. Now, this example people struggled with at first. In a class of 30 students, 19 take physics, 17 take chemistry, and 15 take both classes. And then find the display a Venn diagram and then answer these questions. So before I can answer any of these questions, I need to make the Venn diagram first. So the very, very first thing I did was I said, okay, 15 study both classes. So the very first thing is I wrote 15. And then I thought to myself, okay, 19 take physics. So I look at the blue circle, which is the physics taking people, and these two portions have to add up to 19. Well, if this is 15, this is going to have to be 4, because 4 plus 15 gives me 19. Okay, now let's look at our red circle. This is our chemistry taking students. So this portion and this portion of the circle has to add up to 17. Well, I know if this is 15, this has got to be 2, because that together is going to give me 17. And then I think, okay, wait a second. There's 30 students altogether. So 4 plus 15 plus 2 is going to give me 21. Well, there's 30 students. So if I do 30 minus 21, that's going to give me 9, and that's how I get this value here. And 9 students don't take either of these subjects. So now that I've got my Venn diagram, I can answer these questions. So taking both subjects, it's going to be 15 over 30. It's not necessary to simplify the fractions. I think it makes it easier to understand by not having the fractions simplified. Question B, at least one of the subjects. So the 4, the 15, and the 2, all of those people are taking at least one of the subjects. So 4 plus 15 plus 2 is going to give me 21 over 30. Okay, question C, physics but not chemistry. Well, that's 4, because these 4 take physics, but they don't take chemistry. That's why it's 4 in the numerator. Okay, question D, exactly one subject. So 4 take only physics, 2 take only chemistry, so it's going to be 6 over 30. Lastly, takes neither subject, it's going to be 9. Okay. 3 is really similar. They've already done the Venn diagram for you. So take both subjects, it's going to be 17. So to get the denominator of 29, we did 3 plus 5 plus 17 and plus 4, and that adds up to 29. Okay, adding all four of those gives me 29. Okay, question B. At least one of the subjects, 5 plus 17 plus 4. Okay, only chemistry, that's going to be the 5 here. Okay, you might want to hit pause and replay if you need more help on this one. Okay. Similar things here. They've already drawn the Venn diagram. We needed to find the total, which is 65, in order to solve this. Okay. Let me know if you need help on this one. I'm going to go over number 4, which is the trickier of the questions. Okay. So there's a class of 40 students, 19 play tennis, 20 play netball, and 8 play neither sport. Okay, so in order to do this, the very first thing I did was I said, okay, 8 play neither sport, so I put the 8 there. And then I said to myself, okay, we've got 40 students, right? So if I've got 40 students, I could do 40 minus 8, and I'm going to get 32. So, and I'm not sure what these values are, because this circle here, this is our tennis playing people. That has to add up to 19. And this circle here, these two have to add up to 20. So I need to figure out what these values are going to be. So, and if there's 40 students in the class and we've got these 8 here, then we know that these 3 together, this region here, and this region here, has to add up to 32. Okay, so now let's look at this. So we know this region here plus this region here has to add up to 19, right? And we know that A plus B plus C adds up to 32. So I could do some substitution and say, okay, well, A plus B is 19, isn't it? So I can do some substitution and say, okay, well, A plus B is 19, right? So 19 plus C is going to give me 32. Subtract 19 on both sides. I know that C is going to have to be 13. So then I put 13 in this region here. Okay, now that I know C is 13, I can use this second equation, and we know that B plus C equals 20. So if I take that equation again, B plus C equals 20, and I'm going to replace C with 13. So I'm going to replace C with 13, then I end up with B plus 13 equals 20. Subtract 13 on both sides, I get B equals 7. So then I'm going to write 7 here. And my last step is to say, okay, A plus 7 is going to give me 19. So now I've got, that's 12. And we can check our answer to see if it makes sense. 19 play tennis. So these two have to add up to 19, which they do. Let's check our answer here. 20 play netball. So 7 plus 13. Yes, indeed, that does add up to 20. And so let's see if this adds up to 40. So 8 plus 12 gives me 20, and 7 plus 13 gives me 20, and that added all together gives me 40. So I know the numbers all work. So now that I've done my Venn diagram, I can solve these questions. Plays tennis. Okay, well that's 19 out of 40. I didn't even need the Venn diagram for that, but we're just doing the Venn diagram so we can answer everything all at once. Does not play netball. So netball is the pink circle, so not playing netball is going to be 12 plus 8 over 40. Plays at least one sport. So 12 plus 7 plus 13 plays at least one sport. 32 over 20. D, plays one and only one sport. So 12 and 13 plays one and only one of those sports. So 12 plus 13 gives me 25. And question E, plays netball but not tennis. It's going to be 13 over 40. Okay, hit pause, replay if you want to see this explained again. All right, let's do our last question here. Okay, so in the Venn diagram, there are 60 members in the club. Some of them like Chinese food, some of them like Italian, some of them like Thai. So I've got all these different numbers, and we want to figure out what the value of k is. So if I add them all together, I end up with 55, but we know there's 60 members, right? So if there's 60 members, then I can do 55 plus k is going to give me 60, and now I know that's 5. And you could always double check your answer by adding all of these together, and they need to add up to 60. Okay, now that I know k is 5, I can go through and answer my questions. Only likes Italian. Okay, that's 14 over 60. Question II. Italian and Thai food. So Italian and Thai food is going to be, here's the Italian circle, here's the Thai food circle, so 7 and 4 together is going to give me people like Italian and Thai. Okay, question III. None of these foods. Okay, it's going to be 7 because these 7 people don't like any of the foods. IV. At least one of these foods. So liking at least one of them, you're going to add everything that's in these circles excluding the 7. So that's, if I add all of these together excluding the 7, I'm going to get 53. Oh, another way you could do it is I could say this numerator is going to be 60 minus 7, which is 53. Okay, question V. Likes all of these foods. Well, it's only this region right here, which is 7. Okay. Likes Chinese and Italian, but not Thai. Chinese and Italian, but not Thai. It's just going to be this region 8. Okay. Thai or Italian. So Thai or Italian is going to be 14 plus k plus 3 plus 7 plus 4 plus 8 plus 14. So that's going to add up to this. You can see originally I didn't add up all the numbers. I added 5 and the 14 and the well, 3 shouldn't be part of there at all. Oh, wait. 5, 3, 7, 4. Let's see if we can get this one here. So my numerator should be 5 plus 3 plus 7 plus 4 plus 8 plus 14. If we add all of those together, we should get 41. Okay, and then lastly, exactly one of these foods. So that's going to be 12 and 14 and 5. Adding those together, and we get 31 over 60. All right, I hope this helps, and have a nice weekend.